To help those who do OET examination in Sri Lanka, I'm going to start new lesson series covering what we have to know about OET examinations. So in this lesson, we're going to be learning how to pronounce some common words, common medical words properly. අපිට මේ pronunciation හරි වැදගත් OET විභාගෙදී මොකද speaking part එකේදී අපිට ලකුණු අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ විතරක් නෙවෙයි listening section එකේදී සමහර වචන තේරුම් ගන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන් if we don't know the correct pronunciation because they are speaking very fast. Sometimes you feel so knowing the correct pronunciation definitely will help you improve your score at the examination. So let's learn some common names of medical professionals and associated vocabulary. උදාහරණයක් වශයෙන් බලන්න මේ වචනේ. අපි හැම දෙනෙක්ම මේ වචනය දේවඩියව සම්බන්ධයෙන් කතා කරනකොට we say diabetes. No. එයා diabetics තියෙනවා, එයාට diabetes තියෙනවා. There is some kind of a mispronunciation. But if you want to correct properly, we have to say this word diabetes. Yeah, and we have to say, how do you pronounce that one? Okay, we have to pronounce that diabetes. I have given this kind of a symbols we call phonetic symbols, how we pronounce a word in English. But you don't have to know about this one, but try to get the sound correct. So මෙතනදී තාමත් වැදගත් දෙයක් තියෙනවා අපිට stressing කියලා. මේ නාම ඉංග්‍රීසි වචනයකදී syllables. So here we have kind of one syllable එකක් and another one. Okay, beaties. Now we can say 1, 2, 3 and 4 syllables are there. But you don't have to know this one. Only that what you have to do, you have to understand the sound. The ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාවේ විදිහට මේ ඔක්කොම syllable එක හා සමාන උච්චාරණය කරන්නේ. We don't say diabetes. So සමහර syllable වලට වැඩි බලයක් දෙනවා. අපි කියනවා stress කරනවා කියලා. මේ syllable එක ඇදෙනවා. අනිත් ඒවාට වඩා. So that's why English people pronounce this word not diabetes, it should be diabetes. So you can say it with me, diabetes. The B part must be stressed or it's longer higher in pitch, diabetes. So if aiming for better score like B in the OET examination speaking part, you must develop this ability to pronounce the words correctly using the correct stress pattern. Yes, if you can learn these phonetic symbols, it's better, but I don't think that you have time to do so. But at least you should develop this correct stressing pattern. So later we'll discuss how you can develop this. What are the sources we have? So here my task is also help you to understand the correct pronunciation of words, especially medical words. So today we'll be looking at some names of some medical professionals and associated words. So later again we'll be dealing with the words diabetes and diabetic. Okay, this is also not diabetic, it should be diabetic. Here should be like this. The B part, say when we pronounce, we have to stress diabetic. Not diabetic. The B part must be stressed. Okay, so later we'll be discussing those aspects of pronunciation. But in today's lesson, we're going to be learning some common nouns, common medical nouns, specialist names, actually medical professional names, how to pronounce them properly. And if you need any clarifications about pronunciation, OET pronunciation, so you can communicate with me, put those things in the comment section below so we can discuss them. Okay, the name, the medical professional name that we're going to learn today is this one, pediatrician. Lama roga විශේෂඥ කියන්නේ. How do you pronounce that one correctly? We pronounce pediatrician. So here we can say pediatrician. Me three particle, three syllable එක ඉස්සෙන්න ඕනේ pediatrician. මත අපි ලංකාවේ ගොඩාක් දෙනෙක් මතක තියාගන්න මේ CIAN Shian කියලා pronounce කරන්නේ. It's wrong. We can't say pediatrician or pediatrician. It's wrong. The correct pronunciation is pediatrician. So you can say it with me, pediatrician. Try to get this three syllable kind of a higher pitch, higher sound. Pediatrician. So who is a pediatrician? Pediatrician means a doctor who specializes in treating sick children. You know these things. We can say pediatrician. I'm focusing on the pronunciation. At the same time, you can understand something else as well. Very important thing about spelling. Me pediatrician American English වලදී PE කියලා විතරයි ලියන්නේ. PED, but British English වලදී අපිට තියෙනවා AE. අපිට ගොඩක් වචන හම්බ වෙනවා මේ AE American ඉංග්‍රීසියේදී E බවට පත්. Can you think of some words? Medical words? So later we'll encounter many words. But in the OET examination, if you had to write that one in the listening part, you can use either British pronunciation or British spelling or American spellings. It doesn't matter. Sometimes your marks are not reduced for spelling mistakes, but if you are trying to achieve better score, higher score like B, it's always prudent or wise to understand, to learn the correct spelling as well, rather than just risking yourself to lose marks in the listening part as well. Okay. The next word we're going to be learning, pediatrics. Now here, pediatrician, ළමා රෝග විශේෂඥයා, ළමා රෝග කියන නාම පදයට අපි කියනවා ඒ විද්‍යාව, ළමා රෝග විද්‍යාව, ළමා රෝග කියන්නේ we can say pediatrics. Now the next word, we are going to be learning another word related to pediatrician, the noun pediatrics. Here pediatrics means මේක නාම පදේ ළමා රෝග or ළමා රෝග සම්බන්ධ අපි කියන ළමා රෝග, we can say pediatrics. Here මෙතනදී මේ a sound එක pediatrics. It should be like that one. A is then known. Pediatrics. See how we pronounce that one? Pediatrics. We don't say pediatrics. It should be pediatrics. There is science or something that we study about ළමා රෝග සම්බන්ධ ඉගෙන ගන්නවා නම් children diseases. We call that branch of science is pediatrics. Now look at this sentence. Pediatrics is the area of medicine that is concerned with the treatment of children's illnesses. You can understand that sentence. Okay, now look at this sentence, another example as well. When you learn a word, new word, try to make sentences using that. Even when you want to learn the correct pronunciation, put that one in sentences and try to read them aloud. Now this sentence. The patients spend half their time recovering at home, often require specialized nursing attention, particularly in pediatrics. You can read that one in slow pace, ටිකක් මද වේගයෙන් කියවන්න, until that you are okay with. You can read them very fast or read them at a natural pace. Then you'll be able to understand use the correct pronunciation as well. And number third word is pediatric. This is an adjective talking about ළමා රෝග සම්බන්ධයෙන් කතා කරනවා නම් we can use this adjective pediatric. Again, the pronunciation pediatric. The a part එක ඇදෙන්න ඕනේ හයියෙන්. We say pediatric. So if you want to talk about Lama roga sambandhen, as an adjective, we can say pediatric. So we can say, another examples, pediatric medicine or pediatric hospital. And the next one. The next, we always hear a mispronunciation of this specialist name as well. We hear dermatologist, something like that. I have heard many a time OET students saying this one, dermatologist, something like that. No, that is not the correct pronunciation. The correct pronunciation is dermatologist. Here me to kala tamai stress when we have to say dermatologist. So that what with me, dermatologist. This toe part has to be stressed. We can say dermatologist. Mithrat me der kala tadino, but you can ignore karana polo. You second stress ekak. So we can say dermatologist. Say it with me, dermatologist. Who is a dermatologist? A doctor who studies and treats skin diseases. You know those things. Now look at these examples. The first one, the cases were seen by dermatologists and orthopedic surgeons on the day of referral. So we can say dermatologists. Orthopedic surgeons, will come to that one later. Next one, patients to be referred directly to the consultant dermatologist or surgeon with a view to discuss alternative treatments. You can read them out at a slow pace, as I said earlier, to improve your pronunciation. Patients to be referred directly to the consultant dermatologist or surgeon with a view to discuss alternative treatments. Next one, dermatology. Dermatology means namapadaya charma roga vidyav. Natang a anshu we can say dermatology. Now look at the definition. The branch of medicine concerned with diagnosis and treatment of skin disorders. Now look at this example. The article looks at independent and supplementary prescribing in dermatology using the management of acne vulgaris as an example. So we can say dermatology. And the next example is, again, another word relating to dermatology. So we can say dermatologic. Relating to dermatology, charma roga vidyawa sambandhen, we can say dermatologic. Make a nama visheshana padayak, ek mekama apita kiyana puluwan awashya nan dermatological kiya. So sometimes we have to use the adjective when you're talking about skin conditions. Now read this sentence aloud to learn the correct pronunciation of dermatologic. So we can say, skin rashes are one of the most common dermatologic conditions. Now look at this example, let's say. The more common dermatologic conditions that require treatments include acne, dermatitis, and eczema. Again, we get the word here, dermatitis. Here, dermatitis means, again, a kind of a general term that describes a common skin irritation. So, samerogayak, we can say dermatitis. You know these medical terms better than me, but I want to teach you the pronunciation, correct pronunciation. As medical professionals, you are better aware of these terms, but you must try to use them in a using correct pronunciation. So that's the meaning of that's the main aim of OET examination, to see whether you can use your language appropriately with the correct intonation pattern and stress pattern, because you are expected to speak to native English speakers, so they must understand what you are talking about. So that's why that OET people say that, okay, you have to develop correct pronunciation, when you come to speaking, you must show that you have the correct stress patterns as well. Then if it is there, it would be easier for you to get a good mark. And our next word is another specialist, gynecologist. Some common names, but learn the correct pronunciation. We can say gynecologist. Gynecologist. Look at where the stress goes. Gynecologist, not gynecologist. It's wrong. Gynecologist. Okay, now look at this example. This patient saw the gynecologist when she was 10 weeks pregnant, but obtained the operations at 19 weeks. Okay, so look at the correct pronunciation. Not gynecologist, it should be gynecologist. Gynecologist. We tend to stress the first syllable and we say gynecologist. It is not that much good. If you're aiming at B, if you happen to use this word in your speaking part, it shouldn't be gynecologist, it should be gynecologist. The second one. I put the stress pattern that way. So now look at this word also, gynecological. Gynecological, that means nama visheshana padayak to talking about gynecology. Now look at this example, read the sentence out. Endometriosis is a common gynecological disease in women of reproductive age. Now our next pronunciation word is obstetrician. ගොඩාක් දෙනෙක් මෙතන වරද්ද ගන්නවා මේ අගට CIAN තියෙන නිසා මේක ප්‍රොනවුන්ස් කරන්නේ obstetrician කියලා. It's wrong. මෙතන shian නෙවෙයි මේක shan. හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න CIAN එන තැන ඒ නාම පදයක් නම් ගොඩක්ලා නාම පද අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ප්‍රොනවුන්ස් කරන්නේ shan කියලා. So what are the other medical words with the ending CIAN, api හැම වෙලාවෙම shian කියලා වරද්දලා කතා කර. Think about. You can find many words. We'll come to that one later. Then obstetrician is the correct pronunciation, not obstetrician. You have to be careful. So you know who obstetrician is? A doctor with specialized training how to care for pregnant women and help in birth of babies. Now read this sentence aloud again, another sentence to improve your pronunciation. Now here, antibiotics, an improvement in anesthesia, and the increased skills of obstetricians who perform more operations have all combined to reduce the maternal death rate. So at the very beginning, try to read them slow, at a slow pace, step by step, you'll be able to increase the speed and come back to a natural rhythm. Yeah. So in this lesson, we learn some common names of medical professionals. Even though they are very common names, we tend to mispronounce them. But හැම වෙලාවෙම අපි ලංකාවේදී මේ වචන mispronounce කරනවා තමයි එන්නේ. ඒ නිසා හරි pronunciation එක ඉගෙන ගන්න ඉතින් අපිට OET එකේ විශේෂම ඉහළ ලකුණක් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අපිට ඒක වැදගත් වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා learn the correct pronunciation and see you again with another lesson. ඒ වගේම මේක අලුත් lesson series එකක්. ඉතින් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ අලුත් වෙනවා නම් OET කරන කට්ටිය කරුණාකරලා මේක share කරන්න and subscribe to my channel so that I'll be able to continue this work. ඒ වගේම OET විභාගي සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මොන හරි දැනගන්න ඕන නම් put in the comment section below. I'll be able to help you. Thank you very much. See you again with another lesson.